Hello and welcome to episode 35 of Raw and Score, the trivia podcast where you roar out your answers and track your score on your fingers, or however else you want to track it. I'm the Quizzard, and for some reason the most common thing I get asked when I talk to my friends about this podcast is to do an adults-only episode. I do try and keep it relatively family-friendly because I know some kids will be listening, but I guess for some of my friends that just isn't edgy enough. I've had to think about what an adult-only episode would look like, and it's basically a bunch of creepy questions and forced swear words. Which I admit could be funny, I guess, but I'm going to have to gain popularity in the niche field that is trivia podcasting before I venture into the even nicher field, which is adults-only trivia podcasting. Maybe I'll make an OnlyFans where I read saucy trivia questions with my top off. Any takers? I'm not scared to sell my dignity for a little cash. We score out of 35 points in Raw and Score with 20 single-point questions in the question round, a ridiculously hard question worth 5 points, a bonus round worth 5 points, and a game that we play throughout the question round which is worth 5 points as well. This week's game is called Thematic Threes. We've played this one once before. In this game, the questions and answers for questions 1, 10, and 20 will have something in common. Your job is to work out the common theme that they share. The theme could be that every answer is an anagram for the word elephant, or it could be that I mention someone who was an actor in The Grinch in each question. Could be anything, you've just got to work it out. So don't forget that questions 1, 10 and 20 will share a theme in the question round, which is starting now. Question 1. Who was the lead singer of the band Nirvana? Kurt Cobain. Question 2. Name the two main characters in the TV show The Regular Show. It is Mordecai and Rigby. I love the episode where they discover the song that's so catchy it almost destroys the world. What a good show. Question 3. In which layer of the atmosphere would you find most clouds? Clouds are mostly in the troposphere. Question 4. Jackass is a TV show about a group of boys doing stupid stunts and pranks led by Johnny who? Johnny Knoxville, but Steve-O is my favourite. Question 5. Who was the first African-American president of the United States of America? Barack Obama. Question 6. Which country in the world has the largest coastline? Canada, which is a surprise to me. Question 7. Anne Sullivan was the teacher and lifelong companion of which inspirational woman? Helen Keller. Question 8. What do you call an animal that eats both meat and plants? You'd call it an omnivore. Question 9. In the British version of Monopoly, the most valuable property is Mayfair. What is the US equivalent of this property? Boardwalk. I learned this week that the US version actually came first. I feel like Mayfair is just the right one, but it's not. Boardwalk was first. Question 10. While growing up, which famous left-handed guitarist switched to playing right-handed around his father who believed playing left-handed was a sign of the devil? Jimi Hendrix. Question 11. Which country won the 2023 Men's Rugby World Cup? South Africa won for the second time in a row. Question 12. Starting with I, what was South Korean company Dreamus's direct competitor to the iPod? It was the I River. I had one and it was actually the best. All 512 megabytes of it. Question 13. What is the capital city of Russia? Moscow. Question 14. What is the traditional name of the Hindu Festival of Colours, usually celebrated in India and Nepal? Holi. I always wonder how long it takes them to clean up the whole of India after they do that festival. Question 15. Which official McDonald's Big Mac ingredient is missing from this list? 2 beef patties, shredded lettuce, pickles, minced onions, special sauce, 3 sliced sesame seed bun. What's missing? The official ingredient missing from that list is cheese. An unofficial ingredient that's missing is a large amount of delicious grease. Question 16. As of October 2024, which podcast has the most worldwide listeners? No, it's not the Raw and Score podcast. Yet, it is the Joe Rogan Experience. Question 17. How many circles are there on a standard twister mat, that game where you have to bend your body? There are 24 circles, 6 of each colour. I was sure it was 16. Question 18. Who was the first ever Disney princess? It was Snow White. I've recently rewatched that and it's still absolutely delightful. Highly recommend a rewatch. Question 19. What is the largest bird in the world? The ostrich. Question 20. Finish the lyric from Amy Winehouse. They try to make me go to rehab, but I said no, no, no. Yes, I've been black, but what's next? It is, but when I come back, you'll know, no. Okay, that's it for the question round, but were you remembering to play thematic threes? Questions 1, 10, and 20 had a theme. I'm going to give a slight clue here, just because I think some people will come up with this answer, which isn't it. They all do have to do with music, all of the questions and answers, but the theme is not music. All right, lock in your answer now. All right, the answer is... Question 1, the answer was Kurt Cobain. Question 10 was Jimi Hendrix. And question 20 was a question about Amy Winehouse. These 3 people are all members of the Notorious 27 Club, famous musicians or famous people who died at the age of 27. So if you picked up on that theme, you get 5 points. Well done. Coming up next, we have the really ridiculously stupidly hard trivia question and the bonus round for the episode. This week, the bonus round is 2 truths, 1 lie. Stay tuned for that. We're back, and it's time for... the thing that's expected to cause the next major extinction event. The really hard trivia question. So, I've got a really hard question for you, and you get 5 points if you can get it right. Here it is. If you listed all countries in the world in alphabetical order, what would the 8th country be? The 8th country in alphabetical order. Ten more seconds to work that out in your head. Okay, time's up. So I'm going to list them all in alphabetical order and I'll stop at the 8th. First is Afghanistan, then Albania, Algeria, Andorra, Angola, Antigua, Argentina, Then number 8 is Armenia. 5 points to you if you picked that up. Well done. Australia and Austria were the next 2, if you're wondering. And that brings us to the bonus round of the episode. This week's bonus round is 2 truths, 1 lie. In this one, I'm going to give you a theme, and I'm going to read out 3 facts about that theme. One of them is not going to be true. Your job is to pick the one that is not true. There'll be 5 themes, each with 3 facts each. Okay, so pick out the fact that is not true in 2 facts, 1 lie, starting now. The first theme is Christmas. Fact 1. In Austria, while Santa visits the good children, Krampus, a half-goat, half-demon, visits the naughty children and punishes them how he sees fit. Fact 2. In Catalonia, they have what is called the pooping log, which is a wooden log that wears a red hat. They feed the log during the lead up to Christmas and then beat it with sticks until it poops out presents. Fact 3. In Albania, rather than elves, Santa is helped by all of the children who have been naughty the previous year. Naughty children are abducted and put to work making presents for the year. Which one of them do you think is untrue? 1, 2, or 3? The answer is number 3. In Albania, Santa is not a child abductor, but there is a pooping log and Krampus, the half-goat, half-demon. Interesting. So theme 2 is Tom Cruise, the actor. Fact 1. As part of the upcoming Mission Impossible movie, Tom drove a 4-wheel drive off a cliff, escaping through the sunroof and parachuting to safety. Fact 2. Growing up, it was Tom's ambition to be a Catholic priest. Fact 3. Tom Cruise's real name is Thomas Cruise Mapother IV. Which one is untrue? 1, 2, or 3? It is number 1. Tom did not drive a 4-wheel drive off a cliff, although that does sound like something he would do. Alright, theme number 3 is outer space. Fact 1. The planet Jupiter has had the same hurricane-like storm raging for hundreds of years. Fact 2. The rings of Saturn would most likely smell of rum and petroleum. Fact 3. The sun shrinks by 1 billion kilograms every second. 1, 2, or 3, which one is a big lie? The lie is number 2. The rings of Saturn probably wouldn't smell like rum or petroleum, although who knows? I haven't been there. The next theme is cats. Fact 1. Cats have an extra organ that allows them to taste scents on the air. Fact 2. Cats have whiskers on their legs as well as on their faces. Fact 3. The loudest ever recorded meow of a cat was over 100 decibels. The untrue one there was fact 3. The loudest recorded meow was not over 100 decibels, it was 80 decibels, which is still just stupidly loud for a cat. Alright, final theme is India. Fact 1. India has the second highest population of kangaroos, second only to Australia. Fact 2. India's space agency sent a spacecraft to Mars for less than the production cost of the film Gravity. Fact 3. India has a train which doubles as a hospital, which performs many treatments including surgery. Which one is untrue? 1, 2, or 3? The untrue one there is number 1. I don't think India has many kangaroos. Okie doke, tally up how many lies you caught me out on and add that to your total score, and that is it for the points this episode. Don't forget to find me on Instagram or Facebook and send me a message with your score for a shout out at the end of a show. Or if you can't be bothered to do that, recommend the show to a friend so I can get rich from podcasting. This week I've heard from Laura and Robbie, who scored 14 points together. Ren topped out the week with 25 points. Steph scored a 13. Rick scored 18 points, and one of those questions he guessed that wallabies were one of the animals that couldn't walk backwards. Lucky I gave people the point for that. Christy scored a 17, and Blake scored a 13. Thanks for listening. I'll be back on Monday with another episode of Roar and Score. Bye-bye.